Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Media Boat Podcast, your weekly rundown where we talk about movies, TV, music, and video games, but not necessarily in that order. My name is Mike. His name is Matt.
My name is Matt. His name is Mike. Thank you for joining us today on the Media Boat Podcast. Today is June the 12th, 2026. This is episode 542. We have a lot to talk about. We got some Summer Games Fest cleanup to do, some more video game news for you. We've got a brand new Olivia Rodrigo album to talk about, which is exciting. And we have one of my most embarrassing box office losses in a while. So get ready. This is going to be a doozy.
Wait, you mean more than it was last week?
Somehow, yes.
All right. Well, before we get to that section, we gotta start with the music section. There's a music section with the Billboard. Start the Billboard with the Hot 100. And the hottest song in the land is Hate That I Made You Love Me by Ariana Grande. And yes, I am very much aware that's not exactly the right parsing for it.
You do it on purpose. We all know.
Yep, because at number 2, we have Choose in Texas by Ella Langley. At 3, Janice, STFU by Jake, by Drake.
By Jake?
I thought I said Jake, to Drake. At 4, Be Hurt by Ella Langley. And ready your top 5, I Just Might by Bruno Mars.
He just might. While we're on the subject of Ariana Grande, we won't mention her again. So I might as well mention I will be seeing Ariana Grande tomorrow. So it's next week's show. Yes, next week's show, I will have a full review of the show at the crypto.com arena here in Los Angeles. I'll report back.
Okay. I'll say I can't be at SoFi because they're busy with something else right now, which we'll talk about in a bit. But we had to talk about our albums chart, your Billboard 200. At number 1 is Iceman by Drake. At 2, Dandelion by Ella Langley. Coming in at 3, The Problem himself, Morgan Wallen. At 4, The Great Divide by Noah Kahan. And right at your top 5, The Boys of Dungeon Lane by Paul McCartney. Yep, that Paul McCartney.
Yep.
Turns out people will still listen to Paul McCartney, no matter what age he is.
Oh, yeah.
If you like any of those albums, we have new releases, songs that you can listen to today. Starting with Dirty Blonde by BB Rexa. Yep, BB Rexa. That BB Rexa. We also have In Grief or In Hope by Big Brave. That is all caps if you're looking for it.
With a bracket or like one of those, like, I don't know what those are called.
It's called a pipe tool.
A pipe tool?
Yeah, I call it a pipe.
I like how you quickly went from that's what it's called to that's what I call it.
Well, that's what we call it here. We also have The Landfill by Fruit Bats. A Little Vengeance by Jesse Reyes. Songs of Personal Loss and Protest by John Spencer. Flow State by Keith Urban. Yes, that Keith Urban.
Yes.
So Help Me God by Kelsey Liu. Snowdrop by Mono. Or Mono. You say it how you want.
Available in stereo.
Of course it is. Until the Sun Explodes by Sublime. Yes, that's Sublime here without Rome.
I believe this is the current, I believe, now somebody can email me in if I'm wrong, but I believe I read that this is the current incarnation of Sublime that includes the original lead singer's son as the lead singer. I want to say that that is true.
Back to the Legacy Act.
Yeah.
We also have God Must Really Love Me by Tori Kelly. Aurora by Yes. Yes. That Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Also, Magazine by YHWH Nailgun.
I don't know what that stands for. I don't know what that means. I know it's a band because I read an article headline this week about them, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll include this because at least I've seen this name before. But that's a weird name.
We'll go with You Hug, We Hug, Nail Gun.
That was terrible.
And, well, we also have, you don't have it here, but Stages by Midland.
It wasn't on my list.
It's on my list. And as you mentioned, you seem pretty sad. For a girl, so in love by Olivia Rodrigo.
Yes.
I would assume you listened to this album.
I believe that you probably did as well. So we will be talking about it in just a short bit of time.
Yep. But before we get to that, we gotta get with our music news. And
Yes.
hey, you mentioned Ariana Grande
Hmm.
is on tour, and you're gonna go see that tour.
Yeah.
Well, it's summer season, and tours are up and about and abound.
Yes.
So, following a sold out acoustic show at New York City's Madison Square Garden, the New York Knicks have
No.
announced that,
Not yet.
okay,
We'll be talking about that later.
all right. Phoebe Bridgers has
Yes.
announced that she's added more dates to the Lost Tour for 2026. The MSG show culminated a string of low-key acoustic shows across the country that saw the singer, who has not released new material in 3 years, road testing several new songs that will presumably make up the bulk of her still unannounced third third solo album.
Yeah. So if you want to see new Phoebe Bridgers material, it is coming very soon. No word about a future album. One interesting wrinkle here that got a lot of press this week is that this is, according to Phoebe, a no phones tour. Apparently, phones are banned and you will not be able to use one during the show. I guess the purpose here is to try to be more engaged in the actual performance that's happening. We'll see how that actually works in a practical way, but it's what Phoebe wants.
So no mo FOMO
No mo FOMO
for you.
for, I guess, people who are not there because if they don't see it, they can't get FOMO.
Yep, because there's no phones allowed in the
Yeah,
phono.
no
No phono
FOMO.
for Momo,
No FOMO for Momo.
for Phoebe, for Phobo.
Phoebe says no FOMO, FOMO for Momo.
No phono for Phobo.
We're just speaking gibberish now.
Aren't we always? Because let's go
Yep.
talk about gibberish.
Fair.
The last name,
Fair.
of course, I'm talking about Charli XCX.
Yes.
Well, following her album and her film, she's going back on tour this fall to promote their upcoming seventh studio album, music, comma, fashion, comma, film, period. The 12-date North American Arena Tour kicks off in Philadelphia, that's Pennsylvania, on a date we shall never forget, September 11th,
Yes.
and includes not one, but two nights at both Brooklyn's Barclays Center and Los Angeles's Kia Forum. The electronic artist underscores will open for all the dates.
Yes.
And that is not
So
me saying the electronic artist will underscore all the dates.
no,
That
no.
is
The
the artist known as underscores.
Yeah, this that announcement actually came in pretty hot. Apparently, the artist underscores had their own series of headlining gigs that they had already announced and were starting to sell tickets for. Suddenly, they all got canceled, and when this was announced, people understood why. It looked like when given the opportunity to tour with Charli, they took that instead. So there you go. If you wanted to go to see underscores, now you get a bonus Charli show on top of it, and probably more expensive tickets.
I mean, if you're looking for an underscore gig, doing with Charli XCX might give you that extra bump.
Mhm.
All right. Um, Now I know it's in the news. Yes, Taylor Swift was in the news. Yes, she got her award, but we already talked about that she was being inducted to the songwriter, so we don't
Yeah,
need to talk about that any further.
I
What
didn't
we
need to
do need to
include it.
talk about, though, is the future induction of Olivia Rodrigo to said Songwriters Hall of Fame.
And don't get too ahead of yourself. She's only had 3 albums. Just a reminder.
Yeah, but we're going to talk about you seem pretty sad for a girl so in love.
Yeah, she has 3 albums, and probably all 3 of them will be Media Boat Podcast Album of the Year. Because yes, I had a great time with this thing when I listened to it today. I don't know how she does it, but I think she's getting better.
I'll tell you how she does it. She's had 20 years of Taylor Swift material to review.
But it's not even that though. I was actually thinking about that while listening to this. I was trying to think of the most recent Taylor Swift album, The Life of a Showgirl, and how it compares to this. And obviously, it's hard. Like, you shouldn't necessarily do that with albums
Hmm.
because they're two very distinct artists. They're going for something different. Have different life experiences that have influenced their music, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I get that. However, they're both pop albums released in the last couple of years. It's, fair to a certain extent to compare them.
Within the last year.
Yeah. Yeah, more or less. And so yeah, like it's easy to make that comparison. I was just thinking of the range Olivia has on this thing. Like there's a little bit of range on the Taylor album, but Taylor does not go as far the stretches that I think Olivia is capable of. And Olivia just does it so well. You can tell that not only does she have good taste, but she has wide-ranging taste, and her influences run the gamut of decades, of genres, of bands that she worships. In a single song, The Cure, which is doesn't sound like the band The Cure, manages to both evoke the guitar opening of Foo Fighters' Everlong, and then by the end, the strings of Coldplay's Viva La Vida in the same song. And also manages to not sound like any of those songs in the middle of it. It's fascinating how she's like an alchemist, taking all these pieces from things she loves and Frankensteining them together. The actual song kind of reminded me of the structure of Vampire, where she takes one, like it starts one place and then it evolves and changes and morphs and becomes something else by the end. But it still feels cohesive and it doesn't feel like a Frankenstein of a song. It doesn't feel like she's going prog on us or something. There's not like movements here. It's still the same song. It's just that she's taking so many different hooks that could be all sorts of separate songs and making them into one hooky pop confection, and it works. She makes it work. It never feels like she's being derivative, even when it sounds like something that reminds you of something else. It's just kind of amazing that she keeps doing it and she keeps doing it well.
And that's what I mean that she's building on the people who've come before her. And I'm not saying that as a bad thing. That means that she's
Yeah.
taken what's been done. She's learned from it and she's making it her own. And that is both like a good thing and a bad thing in the different ranges that she does bring into this album.
Yeah.
Whether you do like some of that more acoustic stuff, or whether you do like some of that more like rock alternative sound, that they're
Yeah.
both in here and they both mesh well, going from I'm gonna say they mostly ping pong back and forth based on how this album is laid out, but
Yeah.
it's not necessarily a bad thing. It gives you what you
Mhm.
want, pulls back, then gives you more, then pulls back, then gives you more, and keeps wanting you to come back and listen to the next one. And
Yeah.
like you said, it's done really, really well, really tasteful. Who's the producer on this?
That's a good question. I was trying to think. Yeah, I don't know if Dan Nigro, who worked on the first 2 records, is
Mhm.
credited here. I'm not sure. But regardless, I mean, yeah, everything you said is true. And then on top of that, she also had some new stuff that she hasn't really played with yet. Like there's a lot. Obviously, again, I'm going to mention The Cure because of Robert Smith's literal presence here on
Mhm.
this record, but also because it really evokes new wave. There's a lot of 80s sounds here compared to the last record, which felt very 90s. Not to say that that doesn't return too. That's the thing is that like you said, every song almost has like a different kind of vibe to it, but it all feels cohesive because it's more or less a concept record. We haven't even mentioned that, but that's also true. We haven't even gone into the actual lyrical content here. But you just looked up the production here. What did you find out?
Oh no, I didn't find it.
Oh, you didn't? Okay. Sorry, I thought that's what you were doing.
Sorry.
That's what you looked up. You looked like you were studious, so I thought that that's what you were doing. Um, no, that's what's interesting about this record. It's not just new sounds. It's not just the consistency of the actual melodic songwriting here. It's also the content. So, in interviews, she's talked about how what she wanted this to kind of be about. The song or the album title kind of evokes what these songs do, which is they're kind of sad sounding songs about being in love, at least for the most part. I do feel like what she buried, the lead that she buried here is that by the end of the record, something has happened between the two lovebirds and there's trouble in paradise. But until you get there, it is mostly songs about being in love and in a way that she hasn't written about before. Her previous two albums had a lot of songs about breakups and almost like teenage kind of, well, literal teenage relationships in the first record because she was still a teenager, where it felt like the drama of it was about to explode at any time. These are more considered, they're more adult feeling relationship songs. They're about the feeling that you have when you're already in a relationship, which is not necessarily stuff she's talked about a lot in her songs. And it's a fresh perspective for Olivia, but it still feels like her. It feels like she's still writing from the same perspective, just a more mature one. It reminds me a lot of the shift that Taylor Swift had. Again, I'm going to mention Taylor between Fearless and Speak Now. Like Fearless is still very much like teenage feelings, teenage emotions. And then you get to Speak Now, and all of a sudden she's talking about we've got rent to pay and talking about parental relationships and her relationships to music critics. Like this is an evolution of content. And that's what Olivia is doing here. And it sounds really good on her. I think she's really, really like good at making that transition to this kind of content on her songs.
So yes, you were correct. It is
He's working
Daniel's
on this as
back
well.
to protect
Okay.
producing this.
Yeah. Which makes sense. You do
Yeah.
get a little bit of the same kind of production that we saw on some of the songs on the previous record. Also, there are a couple of moments that did remind me of his production work on why am I blanking on her name? Um, oh God, why am I blanking on her name?
Are you talking
Other
about
Dan,
the other current pop star,
what's her? Yeah, what's her? Why can't I think of her name right now?
Sabrina Carpenter?
No, no. Chapel Roan. Chapel Roan
Oh,
is who I
Chappelle
was
Roan.
thinking of. Chappelle. Yeah, I did get a couple of moments where I thought about the Chapel Roan record. Yeah, I think that it's a mature, it's more mature, it's more varied, it's tonally like different, but it still feels very Olivia, and it still feels very in the world that she's kind of built up in her library thus far. And yeah, I can't wait to listen to it more and kind of delve into each individual song and get that depth out of it because yeah, there's a lot of depth here. And it is refreshing to hear this, I think, this year in a year where I haven't really had that mainstream pop record to hook on to quite yet.
Okay. Now, this is her third album, so I'm just sitting here wondering if this is what she wants to like continue on with the rest of her career here. I mean, I know you're also like thinking forward, but it literally just dropped, but somehow this album made me wanting more of Olivia. Not necessarily more of like what she's done before, but like more variedness, more range. Like where else can you go with your voice? Because there's a
Yeah.
lot here where she does go. It's like, okay, but is there more? Because
Mhm.
she is pushing the boundary here.
Yeah.
She is pushing where she goes with her vocal range, with the tone, with the music, with the sound, with the production. So maybe like, okay, got to the end here. It is pretty long, about 50 minutes, 14
Yeah.
songs, 15, 13 songs.
Mhm.
So I'm like, okay, do I want more? And
Yeah.
yes, I want more, but I also want to know, like, okay, is this just where we're going to be? Because this is the third album we're at here, and they do have very cohesive of the three. There's a lot
I
of
think
cohesion.
yeah, I think you're right. But I think that that I think does hint at more exploration in the future because she's made such a big jump every record now. I think she's not going to stop doing that. I think she is, like I mentioned, I just imagine her as someone with broad range of what she listens to, what she's influenced by. She's taking everything in, modern and classic. And I think that she's going to continue that exploration as she goes on. I think she will constantly be searching for new things, new collaborators, new producers, probably at some point, like new ways to express what she loves about music and lyrically and sonically. I don't think that she's going to hit a brick wall anytime soon. I think that she will continue that exploration, and I think we'll hear even more varied sounds from her. That just seems to be where she's coming from. She likes exploring. She likes blurring genre lines. Like she likes just going to make what she wants to make and what she would want to listen to.
Yeah, very rare to be unpigeonholed three
Hmm.
albums in.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
I'm happy for her. We all thought, oh, she's just the alt rock, like a 90s alt rock pop girl. But no, not anymore. Now she's making all this 80s synthy new wave stuff too. It's like, you're right. She's unable to be pigeonholed. She's not even like Sabrina Carpenter, where it's like, oh, we've gotten to a point now where like, oh, she makes the horny pop music. Like she can't even be put in a category like that in the way that Sabrina can. And so, yeah, well, I'm excited to see where this goes. But for now, I'm just excited to listen to this record more because it's very good.
I will definitely be listening to it more, and I think it's a very early front runner, but will
It's a
be somewhere in
competitor,
the
but
top five.
obviously there's a lot of year to happen. So we'll see.
Yes, and Middle of Nowhere continues to
Yes.
uh, fill my time
Fair enough. But
for
you also filled your
now.
time with something else this week.
Yes, because a different new album was came out, a band
Mm-hmm.
that I am very much into, and I've said
Yes.
here lots of times, Stages by Midland. So a lot of the songs on this album have already come out as singles. And this is what Midland had typically done before, where they'll release singles, and then put it all together into an album. Here they are again with Stages. It's 10 songs, just over half an hour. So it's a very quick listen if you're into Midland. They go back to their old Texas country roots. This is no longer feels like a Smoky Down, Smoky Town Saloon sound,
Uh,
which say
uh,
that five times
I'm
fast,
not going to.
and is more into their original vibes and sounds of the middle of Texas, talking about a hard day's work, just the kind of classic country sound that you would think of when you think of country music. Some of it works, some of it doesn't. It's very much hit and miss, and it's not going to be one of my favorites, which
Aw,
I've kind of coming down on Midland from their past couple albums.
I've noticed this, yes.
You're never going to reach the highs of Let It Roll, and I'm 7 years later. I'm
Ah,
admitting it, I guess.
they peaked. Uh-oh.
They peaked 6 years ago, but that's okay.
Sorry, Midland.
We'll still cheer for. We'll still want them to play 14 gears.
Ah,
They'll play the hits, and they'll continue singing about horses and bars and drinking and that lonely woman who left them. You're very much classic country song
so do you think that's
topics.
part of the problem is that they're going back to the well too many times?
I think so. Also, that like I found other bands who do more
Hmm.
storytelling than Midland does
Right,
with their
right.
songs.
Do you think that's maybe part of it is you? Where
Oh
it's
yeah,
like you now that you've expanded out like your horizons a little bit, you're finding, oh,
I've
actually, this is just a sampler of what other artists are doing, like more in depth.
mhm.
Yeah, that could happen.
Yeah. I'll say Midland's like never not going to be one of my top bands. It's just
Sure.
that they haven't had the hit of an album that I've wanted them to have in a while.
And you know what? That's the thing about these bands, though, is you never know when they're going to get inspiration and like somehow like put out something you really, really like again. That could happen.
Yeah. I mean, their last album was a couple of years ago,
Yeah.
2024.
So yeah, just give it some time.
And that Barely Blue album was also a lot of singles that they put out over the course of 2 years and then
Yeah.
put together on an album.
That is something that I'm starting to notice more and more and that I don't really love. But I'm the only person that I have to blame for that. Like, obviously, you could, in theory, just ignore the new singles and just wait for an album to come out. But that's no fun, is it?
No.
But anyway.
All right. Well, I guess that's what we've listened to.
Yeah.
So let's move on then
Let's.
into video games, where we start with new releases, including Densha Attack for PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, and the Switch 2. And I believe I said that right.
Yeah, I think that's right. Densha Attack. Densha Attack. This is insane. I don't know if you've seen footage of this thing. This is a game in which you are a train, but the train can like hop rails and do tricks and stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah. Seems crazy.
Okay. We also have The Adventures of Elliot, The Millennium Tales for the PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X.
Yep.
Oh, and
This is
Switch
a
2.
yeah, this is an RPG. Real stupid name though. Like who's Elliot?
We don't know. There's Millennium Tales.
He got really into like his install of Windows ME.
There's also Hell Let Loose, Vietnam for the PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X.
Wonder where that takes place.
In Hell.
Well played. Good. Good job.
We also have R-Type Tactics 1 and 2, Cosmos for everything. Wide release. You got it. You can play it.
Yep.
All right. Continuing our topic from last week, Summer Games Fest. We talked about Sony, and we talked about
The Summer Games Fest
Summer Games
itself,
Fest
the Jeff
proper.
Keighley show. Yes.
Yes. So here we have the wrap up with
Mhm.
both Xbox and Nintendo.
Yep.
Let's start with Xbox because they went first.
Chronologically, yes, they did. We'll go first. Yes.
Yep. And they've announced the new 25th anniversary console and controller.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the big news about it, is that everyone in the audience was getting one.
Yeah. Weird, right?
Yeah. The limited edition 25th anniversary collection.
They dropped an Oprah on them.
Yes. And you get the console, and you get the console, and you get the console,
How do you
even
like the
though
look of
all of you
that
probably
thing?
already have consoles.
How do you look at? I like the look at that thing. It just reminded me of a 1999 Funtastic N64. I believe they called that color jungle green.
It reminded me of the old Mac computers
Yeah. Very iMac as well. Very again.
with that
Speaking of
translucent,
Millennium,
translucent green, like coloring to it.
it's fine. I don't know. It's not nostalgia for me, but I did see some people who were excited for that kind of thing.
It's not
But
a mini
eh,
fridge.
it's not a mini fridge. You're right.
I mean, the controller does look really good. I'll give them
Sure.
that.
Yeah, the controller does look cool. You're right.
All right.
You're right. You're right.
But let's get to what we actually want to talk about, which is the first party studio games. And we've got the next look at the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4. And it looks like a Call of Duty game.
Yeah.
Yep, you get the new DMZ experience, which is
Yep.
the demilitarization zone experience, which
It
plays
is
into
from
the
what I
Call
get.
of Duty
Yeah.
4 motif.
It is their essentially their extraction shooter mode.
Hmm.
Kind of. Yeah, so that's the
Yep.
new hotness, so they had to make one of those again.
Yep. Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 4, does come out October 23rd. And once again, no Game Pass, no day one Game Pass.
Not on day one, correct. I believe current year Call of Duties will come the following year, 1 year after their release to Game Pass.
Mhm. We also had the new trailer for Clockwork Revolution,
Yes.
where you can. I mean, it looks kind of like a what was it? BioShock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
little BioShock vibes, like a steampunk kind of first
But
person
BioShock
adventure.
Infinite, kind of, yeah.
Notable about this announcement is that not only did it get a release date, but also not on PS5. This will be one of two exclusive Xbox console releases. I say console exclusive because there will still be a PC version. But this was a game that was prior to this announcement expected to be released on PlayStation 5 as well. And that's no longer the case.
Yep. The other console exclusive is one that many thought would not be console exclusive since
Yes.
we just had Gears of War trilogy announced for the PS5. And there's Gears
Yes.
of War colon E-Day.
Yes.
That's coming October 6th. And we had a trailer for it too.
Yeah, the footage that they showed definitely looked like a Gears of War game. I don't know who they're selling that isn't already interested, because it seems like it almost relies on you at least having some knowledge of Gears of War lore. This is a prequel. E-Day is, of course, Emergence Day in Gears of War lore, the day that the Locust, which are the enemies, emerge from the Earth to fight and ruin our lives. So yeah, I don't know. I wasn't super impressed. I once upon a time really liked the first Gears of War and 2 and 3. They're both pretty good games. Or they're all very good games, but yeah, I just didn't get the good vibes from this what they showed off. And yeah, changing now their strategy to switch this to a console exclusive when according to certain sources, the PS5 version was done and ready to go. And now they're just feeling like, well, nope, we're not going to get revenue from that version of the game. Sorry, everybody who worked on the conversion. Is kind of weird. There's a lot of weird vibes with Xbox, but we don't unfortunately have time this week to talk about it. What a week they've had since that show.
Right. But that's also part of the change at the head of Xbox, where
Yeah,
people are asking, where's the exclusive? Why am
yeah,
I buying an Xbox for if it's not for an exclusive title?
yeah. I
And
think,
yeah, Gears of
yeah,
War is and probably should be exclusive to Xbox because it is one of their main stage like IPs
yeah.
that hasn't really crossed over.
I do think that there is a conversation again that if we had more time we could have about that subject. We just don't have time. But yeah,
Well, if you are
too bad.
still on the fence, come August 6th, they will have an open beta.
That's true.
All right. We also had coming much sooner than that, Doom, The Dark Ages, coming July 7th.
This is
That's
an expansion for the
the
Dark
expansion
Ages.
Revelations.
Yes, yes, that's key. That game's been out. This is just an expansion.
Yes, notice that this is Revelations with an S, not to be confused with Revelation
Yes,
for Final Fantasy.
and the Bible book. That
Yes.
too.
We also had a new look at Haley Atwell in Fable, coming February 23rd.
Yeah, that
That's
game
the next.
has
That's
a
still next year game. Yeah.
yeah, that game's still next year, but it has a specific date for next year at least, which is new.
Yep. I mean, you can get early access for like a week earlier
That's true.
if you want it.
If you want that kind of thing.
Yep. But we also have Halo Campaign Evolved, not Combat Evolved. That's the old game. This is Campaign Evolved. This is
Campaign
coming
evolved.
July 28th.
Yep. And the footage that they showed, they confirmed that there will be brand new, never before seen missions added to the game, which kind of answered my question about it when we talked about it a handful of weeks ago about whether there'd be new content. Apparently,
Hmm.
there will. Also, note this is still multi-platform. This will still be a PS5 game.
Yep. Uh, I th- doesn't say if it's going to be on launch PS5.
No, that's been confirmed that
Yeah.
that will be same day.
Okay. We also have from Microsoft Minecraft Dungeons 2.
Yeah,
Keep more dungeons on.
more Minecraft
That
dungeons.
is the actual, subtitle. Minecraft Dungeons 2,
Yeah,
even more dungeons.
it should be if it's not.
We also had Senwa
Yes,
from the Hellblade universe.
yes, exactly. This is just this features the same character, same universe, it continues that story, except it's just called Senua this time. No, I guess now the subtitle is the title. I guess you could say.
Yeah. Well, 'cause it was reversed before, but now it's like,
Right.
well, drop that because everyone knows what Senwa is. Or
Well,
maybe they
I
want to get
guess.
away from Helldivers and just try and create their new IP.
Yeah.
Speaking of digging up old IP, Spyro's back.
Yes.
Yes, that's Spyro with A Realm Beyond. It's the first new Spyro game in like 20 years.
Yes. And platformer studio Toys for Bob is making this, which is good news for people who like modern 3D platformers. But weirdly enough, the footage that they showed was not 3D platforming. It was flight. Is this game entirely Dragon Flight?
Mhm.
Or is it a platformer that involves flight? We don't know, and we won't know, I guess, until we see more footage.
At least they got Tom Kenny back to voice Spyro.
Yes.
We also had State of Decay 3 coming next year, 2027,
Yep.
as well as yeah, those were all the like games that we already knew were coming out.
Yeah.
Those are from the first party studios. Now let's move on into world premieres and upcoming partnership games, starting with Bad Magpie.
Bad
It's the bird game.
magpie.
Yeah, it's the bird game.
Yeah, you're a cute little magpie up to no good. This gave me Untitled Goose Game vibes,
Yeah.
except you're a bird this time. Well, I mean, a
But
different
it's
kind of
not a
bird.
goose is not a bird.
A different kind of bird. Yes, this looked cute.
We also have Castlevania, Belmont's Curse.
Yes, a brand new Metroidvania style Castlevania game. This looked really
Do you
flashy.
have to
I
call
could
it Metroidvania if
If
it
it's a
is a
Castlevania,
Castlevania
yes,
game?
because some Castlevanias are more linear than others. That's why it's an important distinction to make. Okay. Anyway, yeah, it seemed like art wise, this seems like they're getting inspiration from games like Hades. I saw a lot of bright colors, a lot of elaborate portrait art for characters. It seemed like a modern visual take on a classic Castlevania game, which, hey, seemed pretty cool.
I'm going to run through the rest of these
Hmm
because
hmm
outside of this one, Crazy Taxi World Tour,
Yeah.
I'm not excited about anything else out of this because it's Crazy Taxi. How can you not be excited about Crazy Taxi?
Oh, well, I'll tell you one reason why you might not be excited about this Crazy Taxi reboot. Because shortly after the reveal at this show, it was Sega went out there and said that there was concept art AI involved in the creation of the game, and a lot of people did turn their backs on it. This created some back and forth, some arguments online for people that said, hey, it's still a game that I'm interested in and want to try, regardless of the AI. Or some people were like, well, we expected you to be hardline stance about this. So there's a lot of back and forth. I think where I land on this is, well, first let's find out if this is a game that's even worth caring about. Let's wait until this comes out. And if it's not that great, well, then cool. You don't have to have an opinion about whether they used AI on it or not. Let's just cool. Let's just chill out. Let's just chill out. Let people do their jobs about reporting on games, and let's just wait till the game comes out. How about that?
Yeah, they would start calling it Crazy Taxi.
Yeah, exactly. Shove that I in there. But
Yeah.
yes, until we knew that, it was cool to hear the Offspring song again. It was neat to have, Crazy Taxi back. Crazy Taxi's great. There's a reason why people have nostalgia for it. But it sucks that they ended up kind of wasting that good vibe by immediately being like, oh, yeah, and by the way, this is the AI game now. But hopefully, I hope that it can live past that reputation. But if it doesn't, there are plenty of other games we can play.
Let's run through these other games real quick because these will be coming to Game Pass eventually, including Join Us,
Join us.
Magicians, The Devil's Deal.
Speaking of Bioshock likes,
Yep. Metro 2039,
new
which
Metro
is a
game.
2027 release.
hmm
We're
hmm
very closer to
I know.
Metro
It's like that's
2039.
too close for comfort there.
We had Persona 6 that was announced, but if you can't wait that long, Persona 4 is available now for pre-order.
The remake of Persona 4, you should say. You can
Yes.
buy the original right now if you want.
Well, yes, since we're on six, that must mean that a four and five had to have already exist.
It turns out.
We also had Resonance, A Plague Tale, Legacy.
Yep,
Valor Mortis, The brutal first-person Souls-like game.
sure.
Another Souls-like game. Why not? We also had Vivarium, a little anime-inspired project, as well as Where Winds Meet. I do not remember this game.
That was another
A free to
hack
play.
and slash sword kind of thing. That actually was revealed previously. This was just more footage of it.
Okay, well that's available right now if you want
Yeah.
another. If I want another free to play. We also have Wolong 2, Wings of Ember. Of course, sequel. Then we had an update for Age of Empires 4. Update to Elder Scrolls Online, as well as your update to Fallout 76.
Yes, as always.
Yep. And speaking of, as always, your updates to Sea of Thieves and Microsoft Flight Simulator,
Yep.
the 2024 version, because they haven't come out with a new version since. All right, and that was Xbox.
Yeah, overall, a pretty okay show.
Hmm.
Again, I wasn't super excited about any particular thing, but it does seem that they were speaking to their base. They're putting out games that you would expect to see on modern consoles, a lot of character action, a lot of first person shooters, and yeah, that seems to be what people want. Yeah, I don't know. But like I said, the waters got muddied pretty quickly between the AI stuff with Crazy Taxi and then also with the company kind of putting their foot in their mouth over and over and over again this week. The most recent and probably biggest deal being they put out yet another, like, hey, everybody read our internal memo thing, in which they more or less said, yeah, we're under target on all this stuff, so we're probably going to cut jobs and we're going to cut a lot of them, which some people were saying this whole time. Whenever you have a big changeover with CEO, this is bound to happen. And yes, it's going to happen again. So they're taking all that goodwill that maybe some people had and throwing it immediately out of the window. We're not different. It's the same. They want you to believe that things have changed over there. Really, it hasn't. Like their whole course correction thing. Well, if you don't have people working in the company, that's going to be a little harder to pull off now, isn't it? So we'll see.
Yeah, that's what AI is for.
Oh, God. Yeah, Asha Sharma says swears up and down we're not going to have Copilot on the Xbox, right?
I
We'll
mean,
see.
swears it for now.
We will see.
We will see. But let's get over to the final
Hmm.
entry,
Hmm.
which is Nintendo Direct, because they're not associated with the Summer Games Fest. No, they
No.
do their own thing called Nintendo Directs.
Yes. Yes. Always.
All right, so here's every announcement in order, because obviously Nintendo saves the best for last, for second to last,
Always.
always. All right, we're going to start with a new rhythm game, Rhythm Heaven Groove. This looks fun, actually.
Yeah. This has been previously announced. This is both a Switch 1 and Switch 2 game.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a sequel to the Rhythm Heaven series, which has previously been on the DS, the 3DS, and the Wii, I believe. And yeah, it looks like a really fun rhythm game. This time with an entire RPG sub game that looks just as meaty as the rest of it. So that's exciting.
Yep, and that comes out July 2nd.
Yeah.
We also had Onimusha, Way of the Sword, coming
Yep.
out September 25th.
Confirmed for
It's,
Switch 2.
yep, confirmed for Switch 2. Also confirmed, Dragon's Dogma 2,
Yep.
Dark Arisen, coming October 9th.
Hmm.
Another RPG experience from Capcom.
Yeah.
We also had Stellar Blade, um,
Getting a Switch 2 release. Yes.
mhm. Then Orbitals, which looked really interesting to me, and that's coming September 3rd.
Again,
Is that
previously
Switch
revealed,
2?
but more
Yep.
footage here, and it looks really amazing looking. It just looks like an 80s anime on the screen. It's very impressive.
Yep. Yeah, like I said, Switch 2 for that one.
Yes.
We also had Rayman Legends retold,
Yep.
once again being retold here
Yep.
for coming October 1st. We also had Big Walk coming
Yes.
August 4th.
That looks like a lot of fun. A
Well,
co-op experience where you can just chill out with your friends and go on a big walk.
well, it's from the people who did Untitled Goose Game.
Yes. Speaking of.
Yep. There's also One Piece, Grand Gourmet coming October 23rd. It's a food game inspired by
Yeah.
One Piece.
Yeah. One Piece cooking game. I don't know who's asking for this, but hey, it's a good idea.
Yeah. We also had new Pokemon Pokopia DLC, Retail
Yes.
Underwater.
Yes, dive.
Dive, dive, dive. And they also announced an expansion pass as well. Oh, this comes with the expansion pass.
Yeah, but also if you want to get this a la carte, you can.
Yep.
But yeah, it'll be just like how they did it with the previous Pokemon games on Switch.
We also had Fire Emblem, Fortune's Weave coming September 17th.
Yep, they showed off a
It's
lot
another
of
Fire,
this.
Fire Emblem game.
It's definitely a Fire Emblem game.
We also had Ninjala 2, The Uncharted Planet, which I'm surprised Ninjala is popular.
I know this is like something that I'm mostly familiar with for ads in Angel Stadium.
Yes.
So it was interesting seeing the sequel made to seem like a big deal here.
Apparently, it's a big deal. Got
It
a
must have
sequel.
must have some sort of audience.
For those of you with Donkey Kong fever, there's more Donkey Kong challenges going across the Nintendo Classic titles, as well as Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Yeah, looks like a fun little card collecting thing that they're doing. I wouldn't be surprised if we see more of this in the future to coincide with other games as they release. But yeah,
But yeah, I mean, those challenges you have to do now up until September 1st. So only summer. You only got summer to do it.
yeah,
We also have, if you're still fond of Jujutsu Kaisen, there's a Rumble now. Colon Survivation, and this is from the people who did Vampire games or Vampire Survivors.
yeah. Go tell Megan the Stallion. I'm sure she's very excited for this.
Once again, Lords of the Fallen 2 coming to the Switch 2. We also had Lies of P, Complete Edition, coming August 6th for the
Yeah,
Switch 2. It's great to see like all these current games come to the Switch 2. It's like, oh, we could run these now too.
yeah. They finally made something powerful enough to play third party games. Congratulations, Nintendo.
You did it. Because you also had Devil May Cry 5, Devil Hunter Edition,
Oh,
as well as Mirabasa, Revenant Blades. But that's coming next year. Yeah, that sure do. RPG from Vanillaware.
yep.
But if you want to stay in the Nintendo ecosystem, Xenoblade gets a Nintendo Switch 2, which is the
Yes.
first, second, and third.
Yes, all three previous games are getting remade and released on the Switch 2, and they also confirmed a new Xenoblade game for the Switch 2 is in development called Genesis.
Yes. Better than calling it Origins.
Yeah.
But the thing that will sell the most units is Nintendo Switch Sports Resorts. It's
Yeah.
back. That's coming
Yep.
October 22nd. If you wonder what to get for holiday season, if you already got Switch 2 last year, it's this.
Yeah, this is really smart. They already did Nintendo Sports on the Switch 1. This expands it, has everything that that game had, plus brand new sports, including archery and table tennis. I mean, yeah, this is exactly what you think it is, I'm glad that they're doing it again. I think that there's a lot of people who will be very excited.
Yeah, especially because those controllers for the Switch 2 more intuitive this time.
Yeah, yeah,
We also had RuneScape, Dragon Wilds coming September 15th, as well as Hello Kitty, Party Land, fall coming October 29th. It's a party game with all your favorite Sanrio characters.
I can't wait to see big challenges.
We also had more information from Star Fox with that free demo available,
Yep.
as well as Final Fantasy Resonance coming October 22nd.
This is, I believe, another instance of them taking a game that was previously a mobile title and beefing it up for a console release. That's what this is.
Yep, it's the HD version of whatever this game was.
Yeah, I don't know the name. That's why I didn't say it either.
We also had Pikaniku 2. I believe that's what it says.
Pikuniku.
Pikuniku. As well as Dragon Quest Monsters, The Withered World.
I hate
More
when my
Dragon
world
Quest
gets
for those of
withered.
you waiting for the other Dragon Quest game.
Yes.
We also had The Duskbloods coming in 2026. And Splatoon Raiders, a spin-off of Splatoon.
Yes, this was also previously revealed in its own standalone YouTube video, but they showed a lot more here. It is a single player like game in the Splatoon universe.
Yeah, but you're hunting treasure this time.
Yeah.
We also had Deltarune Chapter 5. For those of you waiting for it, the next chapter in Deltarune comes out June 24th.
Yeah.
Did not say this would be the final chapter, so I guess expect a chapter 6 at some point.
Yeah, I don't know. Actually, that's a good question. I actually don't know if that's it.
We also had Metaphor, Refantasio,
Yep.
coming November 12th.
A big console game from a handful of years ago, getting its release here on Switch.
Yep, tournament style this time. If you haven't played it, Minecraft is coming.
You
Of
know.
course you played it. It's just that if you want to import it over, you can now do Minecraft on the Switch too.
Actually, fun fact, I have never played Minecraft.
Oh, that makes two of us. Wait, no,
I
have I?
don't know.
Maybe. No. I don't think I've ever had anything to run Minecraft on.
Fair enough. Now you do.
Yeah, now I do. If I wanted to. I have other stuff to do. We also have Atelier Karya, The Night Kingdom, and The Guide of Memories. These are not two separate
It's
games.
one game.
uh, RPG with a long ass title.
Yep. Gotta love
Speaking
them.
of long ass titles, Warhammer 40,000, Space Marine 2
You can
coming
just
this
call it
holiday season.
40K.
All right. Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2 coming later this year.
To Switch 2. That also previously released on other consoles.
Yep. We also had Observer, System Redux coming June 18th.
This was kind of the port corner. This was when they just rattled off a bunch of games that are coming to Switch.
Yep, including Daisy,
Mm-hmm.
Metal Gear Solid, Master Collection, Volume 2,
Yep.
Rise of the Tomb Raider, Tales of Eternia Remastered, coming October 16th, Snow Runner, out now. We also had the sequel to Fitness Boxing with Fitness Boxing 3. That's right. If you missed Fitness Boxing 2, it happened. We're on to 3 now. Your
Yeah,
personal trainer.
that was a throwback. I was like, wow, I haven't heard about fitness boxing since the Wii.
That is out July 16th. We also had Everbloom coming next year, your farming sim, as well as Final Fantasy 14 online, August of this year. Then we had 3 last announcements here. Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3 collection getting a native port to the Switch 2. Begone, you clouded version. You don't have to
Yes.
play it natively.
Right. We thought this was going to happen. Sure enough, that they did confirm that this is the case. Again, turns out when you put out a platform powerful enough to play a PlayStation 4 game, And finally, you can put these out in their normal versions.
Yes. Uh the all the collections, play all the versions if you haven't already, because you're gonna need to.
Yes.
For it was Nintendo Direct that had the honors, nay, the privilege, nay, the welcoming of the long-awaited announcement. 50 months we have waited, bated breath, to hear the next thing, and it's finally here.
Yes.
Kingdom Hearts 4 had a second trailer.
Yes. That reminded me a lot of the first trailer. I mean, was it gameplay? Who can say? But it definitely was like tried to make it look like it was gameplay. It sure looks like a Kingdom Hearts game, but I ask, where are the Disney characters?
Oh, a lot of people are asking what Disney World is because they only showed off one new Keyblade. And yet people theorizing, what does this do? Where is this from?
What does
How
it
did you get
mean?
it?
We're
What
just
does
gonna have
it
to
all
wait
mean?
even longer to find out, unfortunately.
Yes, but this does mean that Square Enix has acknowledged Kingdom Hearts 4
Yes.
does exist.
It's still a
It
going
is
concern.
still in production. It is
And it
still
does also
to be
confirm,
announced.
and it does
But
also confirm that this is a Switch 2 game. So
yes,
that's cool.
it'll be announced, it'll be released on the Switch 2, the Xbox, and the PlayStation, and the PC, all on the same time. Day
Yes.
and date release everywhere. I can say it. Kingdom Hearts 4. You got it. You can play it.
That's a big deal, especially for the PC audience. So that's exciting.
This is all part of Square Enix's big reworking that occurred
Hmm.
a couple of years ago. And I'm going to assume this is going to come out after Final Fantasy VII Revelation.
I can't imagine that they release around the same time. No, I agree.
Well, especially because Final Fantasy VII Revelation has a release window of spring of next year,
Yeah,
and Kingdom Hearts does not.
right. I
But
imagine
you
that's
know
a
what this
fall
does mean?
game. Yeah.
You know what this does mean, right?
What?
That since Kingdom Hearts 3 released, we've had the entire Final Fantasy VII Remake
Yes.
trilogy
Yes.
for Kingdom Hearts 4.
That is what that means, unfortunately. Well, they were busy. Come on.
And again, 4 years and 2 months between trailer drops.
Yep.
Nothing has happened. Everything is here. This is not the beginning of the marketing cycle. This is just acknowledgement of we
Yes.
are still working on this.
Yep. But you're just as excited, I'm sure.
Oh, yes, because this was the big announcement of the entire showcase.
Well, there was one more hint at a thing that might be interesting if maybe we saw a little bit more of it.
Oh, I mean, all we saw was a sleeping child in The Legend of Zelda, the Ocarina of Time.
Yes, the rumors were true. They are remaking N64 classic The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Like you said, all they really showed us was a brand new 3D model of Link sleeping in his bed in his village town, like the beginning of the game, and a logo, which is gold this time. Um, yeah, um, sure. Don't get me wrong, I like Ocarina of Time, but do we need to do a remake? And if they do it, how faithful is this going to be to the original? Like, what? Huh? So yeah, there's a lot that I don't know yet. I feel like
Well,
it's
especially
different
because they're not
than
calling
the
it
last time
remake.
they did this on the 3DS.
They're just calling it The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. They're not calling it a
Yeah,
remake. They're not calling it a sequel.
no,
They're not calling it a reboot or an HD.
it is funny because a lot of people made the joke, which is like, wow, the Switch 2 is just the 3DS, a remake of Star Fox 64 and a remake of our Ocarina of Time. What's next? Yeah, but I don't know. We just don't know enough to make any
Yes.
decisions here. So I'm
Nintendo
just
will
gonna
have its
say, who
own
knows?
like separate direct
Yeah,
dedicated to The Legend of Zelda
I
when
think
they
the
want to show more.
and I think the wildest thing about this is that that's this year somehow. Like
Yeah.
they're going to have to somehow within 6 months get us to know what this is and then release it.
I mean, I think based off the name alone, people will be excited for it.
I think so, but I am holding my excitement until I see what exactly they're doing to the game.
I'll tell you what they're doing to the game. They're slapping a Triforce logo on the back of a Switch 2 and selling it for $700.
I mean, probably. That's also true. You're right. Anyway.
Yeah, they'll give you a green and gold Joy-Cons, exclusively skinned, and it'll sell on secondhand market for $1,200. So you
Yeah.
can get your hands on it in the first place.
Yeah, probably true. All right. On that wonderfully optimistic note, that will do it for the Nintendo press conference. Jesus, I just went back in time 20 years. The Nintendo Direct, because yeah, that was pretty much what they had. Okay,
Overall, Summer Games Fest. What are your
yeah, that was
thoughts?
it, and that was E3.
And that was E3. Yeah. What are your thoughts of E3 2026?
It does not exist. Yeah, no, it was fine. I don't know. I feel like as I get older, maybe it's my tastes that are changing, or maybe it's the industry's tastes that are changing. I'm just less and less excited about announcements that are made around Summer Games Fest and around the Video Game Awards. I just like, there's a lot of stuff that's not for me, turns out. I guess where I'm at right now with my relationship with video games. But we'll see. I'm sure there'll still be great games that'll come out during the year, and I am excited for video games still as a concept. But yeah, I don't know. Not for me, but I'm glad that people found a lot to be excited about.
I think this was a very big win in terms of E3 Summer Game Fest
Cool.
2026. I think this up there very high because you got the announcement of, like we said, the Ocarina of Time remake. We got Final Fantasy VII Revelation announced. The title was announced. Kingdom Hearts 4 officially, more or less, revealed with another teaser trailer out of here. We got the new Spyro game coming out. We got the new uh, E Day coming out. Gears of War E Day coming out. And
Hmm.
most importantly, nowhere in any of these did we hear a single peep about GTA. That is a win
No,
right there. No one wants to
because
talk about it.
2K notoriously never was at E3 either. They never showed that stuff out. They're too big for that. They can do their own marketing when they randomly drop a trailer and it becomes the most watched video on YouTube. Like they just have the ability to do that. They don't need no E3 or Summer Games Fest.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, that just confirms what I said. It's like, even though I'm not impressed, it just goes to show you there's a lot of stuff for you and people who like games that like you. So, like, I'm not saying the whole thing is a failure at all. I'm just saying I wish I could be more excited personally, but it's cool that so many people saw things that they're excited for.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, these are all, of course, games that are coming out. Unless you're watching the Nintendo stuff, that a lot of those, like I said, third-party games are out right now.
Yes. All right, cool. All right, with that, I think we can move on
All right,
because I don't
let's
think we
move on
played
then.
any video games of note.
I mean, there's just more. Oh, I did beat the story mode for Batman, so now
Nice.
I'm cleaning up everything.
There you go. There you go.
All right,
Nice.
let's move on then into television. We start with the sports corner.
We do.
All
And what
right.
a week in sports.
Oh, what a week in sports. So we're going to start off with last weekend where we had the end of uh, Roland Garros and the French Open.
Yeah.
We had number two, Alexander Zverev, beating number 10, Flavio Cobolli, to win his first Grand Slam title.
Yeah.
We also had, over on the women's side, number 8 seed, Mira Andreeva, beating Maha Kwalinska to become the youngest champion at 19 since Monica Seles did it in 1992.
Pretty wild.
I mean, just shows the future of the sport here.
Right there.
Over in horse racing, the last time I'll talk about it for the year,
Yeah.
because Golden Tempo, who won the Kentucky Derby, won the Belmont Stakes.
Hey.
But
Right.
because they did not compete in the Preakness, it means they lost out on the Triple Crown.
Yeah. 2 out of 3.
Could they have won it? Maybe they could.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. You need to compete. You can't win if you don't compete.
It's true.
Call that a Golden Tempo.
Yeah.
Speaking of, you can't win if you don't compete. we know who will be competing for the UFL Championship. It's here this weekend.
Yes.
The DC Defenders will take on the Louisville Kings this Saturday for the newly titled United Bowl, aka the United Football League
That
Bowl.
makes sense. Yeah.
Yep. And then we have normal football, which begins in just a month, with training camps starting July 15th. Yes, there are OTAs. Yes, rookies are reporting. Yes, the new coaches are meeting. You're seeing a lot of like like practice being filmed. These are all optional, all right? Actual training camp for the season does not begin until July 15th.
Yeah,
So
you tell them.
hold your horses there. But over in the MLB, your horses must be off running because All-Star voting continues. Get those votes in.
Yes.
Also, Otani out for the season. Get his votes in. Okay, not really out
Not
for the
Don't
season.
scare people who are listening to this that did not actually see the real news. He is not out for the season. He just left a game early because of what was it, hamstring tightness?
Yeah, my fantasy team is now in shambles with Otani going out and Judge going out and Cal Raleigh going out and just
Yeah.
where are my hitters?
Well, the good news is that Otani's issue does not seem long term. That seems short. Aaron Judge's, however, looks like it's going to take a long time. So it
Well,
depends on
yes.
who you're talking about. Let's be
I
realistic here.
I mean, you at least have him on the hitting side, so he can
Yeah.
still hit.
So
Might be a while till he pitches.
it might be a while until he pitches. That's a different conversation. Yeah. So we'll see. Nothing's been confirmed about the future of his season. So let's make that clear.
Yeah. But what has been confirmed for the future of Brendan Sorsby's season, as he has been ruled eligible for the 2026 season. And I know what you are saying through this TV screen. Who the hell is Brendan Sorsby and why do I care?
I just figured you were going to tell me.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now. Brendan
Mhm.
Sorsby is a quarterback in the NCAA.
Ah,
He is also a degenerate gambler who
I
placed
see.
more than 9,000 bets, including bets on his own team, while he played for Cincinnati. Well, he's now going through the transfer portal to play for Texas Tech. The NCAA, the governing body of collegiate athletes, ruled him ineligible because he placed bets. And you can't
Ah,
do that. You can't place bets
can't do
as a
that.
player.
No.
Just no gambling. It's two words. No gambling.
No gambling. Seems easy to follow.
Right, you think that. Well, Brendan Sorsby, and I assume the people over at Texas Tech, did not like the NCAA ruling. So they took it to a local judge in Texas. And he said, you know what? I do not agree with the NCAA ruling. Brendan Sorsby, I will allow you to play football. You just have to serve a 2-game suspension at Texas Tech. Da 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 da. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that was it.
That was it. So Brendan
I,
Sorsby
yeah.
can now play football, even though he plays bets as an athlete.
I do.
He deemed this as mental illness because degenerate gambling problem. When you place 9,000 bets,
Yeah. Okay. And here's what I was actually going to get at is
Mhm.
this part is where it gets kind of dark. And I do want to be clear. I was kind of being like, I was making a joke when I said it's easy just to not gamble. Yes, I understand that there are people who are just addicted to this, just like
Mhm.
an addiction to anything that gives you like a serotonin drop every time it happens. Gambling is dangerous for people with addictive tendencies like this. It seems like he fits that profile. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who happen to be athletes who are also, constantly challenged by the constant, like, aura around sports right now being about gambling. You can't go to a sporting event. You can't watch sports on television. You can't even be in a sports team without being sponsored by a company that wants you to bet on sports. So I want to make it clear that I don't necessarily think he's like, it's not just his fault. Yes, there are some self control issues. as there always are here. But the gambling industry is to blame for a lot of the why it's so persistent and reminds this poor guy all the time that he needs to be gambling to make some extra money. So that is all happening in the background of this. That's very important to remember before you kind of make, like, not you specifically, but I mean people make all the jokes that they're going to make about this guy. So just wanted to add that in. Like, I wanted to make sure that people realize it's a nuanced issue that goes beyond just, man, why didn't he just not gamble? It's not that easy for some people. Just how it is with alcoholics or drug addicts. It's complicated.
Right, but their joke here is not on Sourcebeat himself. The joke is on the NCAA governing body because if they
Right. In
make a
this case,
ruling
yes.
and you can
It's
go
a
to a
silly
judge
ruling.
and say, I don't agree with this ruling, please agree with me. And the judge goes, I agree with you.
Yeah.
NCAA, you're wrong here. Then
Yeah.
what's the point of having the NCAA?
It makes it seem like it's just a farce of an organization and like that anything can just be immediately switched. Like it's not, yeah, it doesn't seem like it makes any legal sense whatsoever.
I mean, like, if you're gonna do something that you probably shouldn't be doing, like more morally, I don't know if it is legally because you probably signed
If
a
if
contract.
the league says you cannot do it and they have rules in place for people who break those rules, it should not be easy to just turn around and go to a different source and then immediately be put back in the league that told you no. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, you got a ruling from mommy and you go crying to dad about it.
Right. It does feel like, yeah, it does feel like the I'm gonna go ask your father kind of thing.
Or reverse it, however your dynamic
Right.
is at
Or
home.
whatever the
My
dynamic
dad
is.
said no, let me go cry to mom.
Yeah.
However your dynamic is at home, reverse it how
Whatever
it
it
fits.
was, whatever parent, guardian, whatever you want to use
Yes.
there. But yeah, that's ultimate. You're right. Like I just wanted to mention that to make sure like people knew that we weren't necessarily judging this guy. It's just it's a situation that does create precedent for the future. Like when other athletes in the NCAA system do this, they're going to point at this issue and be like, "Well, he said he got back in."
Hmm.
So yeah,
I mean, it's going to be, I mean, we had this previously with Chambliss too, the
hmm
other quarterback
yeah,
over at FSU. We just had this in basketball in Alabama,
yeah, yeah,
a
yeah.
pair player who was playing in the NBA with a contract, went back to college. So at what point the NCAA, like, it feels like they've, you can just challenge any ruling in the NCAA. And if you get a favorable judge, or if you're able to argue your case in a well organized,
Hmm.
non-criminal manner,
Something like that. Yes.
then you can get your way.
Yeah.
What is the law?
Who knows anymore?
Not for us to answer, but I can tell you what is happening though.
Yeah, exactly.
Playoffs, finals,
Playoffs.
championships.
Yes, they continue.
Yes. And the Carolina Hurricane are one win away from claiming the Stanley Cup and snatching it away from Las Vegas.
And boy, are you excited to see Vegas lose that. I
Oh,
bet you're just stoked.
yes. I mean, Carolina ends up winning, but at least Vegas loses.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
may not like Carolina, but I know I hate Vegas
Right.
more.
The enemy of your enemy is your friend, right? Or at least temporarily.
Yes. They will be playing on Saturday.
Who else
To
will
see
be
if they
playing on Saturday, I ask?
um not the Knicks because they'll play on Sunday. And they are one win away from claiming the NBA championship from the Spurs in
Crazy,
a
right?
crazy finale ending of like these past three games.
Are you
It's
sure it's not Saturday?
yeah.
Yeah, tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. I just looked it up. Game 5.
Okay, then it's the hockey plays Sunday then.
See, I knew I felt a thing. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, no, sorry. NBA is tomorrow. Yeah, you're right. Stanley Cup is Sunday.
Yes. Stanley
So
Cup is
yeah.
Sunday.
But yes, and let's talk about that surprise win. Of course, we were at a different sporting event when this happened,
Oh, it
so
was a
we
game within a game
it was a game
we
within a game
experienced.
instead. But for those of you who were focusing on it, man, what a moment at the end of that game, huh?
Yeah, I mean, tips out of nowhere, the utter complete failure and crumbling of the San Antonio Spurs.
What was it? A 29-point
29
lead that they
point lead.
lost?
Yep.
Yeah, brutal, brutal.
Yep. They are now the San Antonio Falcons going forward, blowing a 29-point
Yeah,
lead.
yeah. So,
All the games.
how do you think it goes tomorrow night? Then I will be seeing Ariana Grande while this is going down. So
I mean, you can watch the game while you're there.
I'm not going to do that at Ariana Grande.
Okay,
Come on.
people around you will be. Oh, I'm not sure that's a circle.
Yeah, maybe
The
not.
overlap of Ariana Grande
Yeah,
fans and NBA fans.
there might be some crossover. I bet there's probably maybe the occasional partner of an Ariana Grande fan might be having their phone out looking at the game, but I feel like for the most part they're going to be locked in at crypto. I don't think they're going to care. But I will at least be interested to see how that goes. I don't necessarily have a horse in this race, but it's been really fun basketball to watch. This is
Well,
my
if you
first
did have
time
a horse in
ever
this race, it'd be from
watching.
Spurs because Spurs and horses go together.
And that's true. Spurs. Well, do they? The cowboy riding a horse, I guess, sometimes has spurs on their boots. I don't
Well,
think
yeah,
the
but
horses like
he
it
doesn't
though.
have knickerbockers.
No, horses notoriously don't wear pants. You're right. Even some
Yes.
cowboys don't. I mean, those assless chaps are,
Yeah, there you go.
But
What are we talking about again?
sorry, I just say the words assless chaps and you get distracted, I guess.
Well, I think of a horse wearing assless chaps.
Well, I'm glad I gave you that visual. Now you can have that for a while.
Yeah, now it's just a horse's ass.
Yeah, there's that. Well, who wasn't a horse's ass were the Knicks, who, yeah, so surprised everybody. I'm looking forward to seeing if they can pull it off again tomorrow
Yes,
night.
the Knicks did not get the sweep because the president was in
No.
attendance, and Rudo famously knows he is bad luck for any New York team.
So, yeah, this is sudden death for the Spurs. If they lose the final. If they win, this goes to game six.
Yep, the Spurs and the Golden Knights
Yes, same
have to
situation.
win out.
Same situation there.
Yep.
All right.
All right. And lastly, if you're wondering why the Knicks, or sorry, why the NBA and the NHL aren't playing on Friday, they're taking the day off.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
One,
mm-hmm.
travel.
Yeah.
Two, FIFA World Cup. USA is
Yes.
playing on Friday, which is why they had to
Yes.
skip over it.
Yeah, the World Cup has officially begun. Yeah, matches have already been played today.
Yep, host nations Mexico and Canada.
Yep.
Well, Mexico won, Canada tied. I guess means US is going to lose, so that we have a win tie loss for the home
Yep.
countries. But they're playing like real soon here.
Yep.
As of this recording, it'll be up, it'll be out. But yeah, FIFA
Yeah.
World Cup is here. You can
It's
only
now.
watch the games in English on Fox or streaming on Fox One.
Yes.
I preface in English because if you don't want to support Fox, you can watch all these games on Telemundo, which is on
Yes.
Peacock.
If you would like to do that, you can do that.
That is an option
Yes.
if you want to get that true the true football
Football
experience.
experience. Yes, indeed. Real quick before we wrap up sports, I just wanted to give my little update for the week, which is AUSL Athletes Unlimited Softball League has started its season. It had its opening day this past week. All six currently operating teams have all faced each other. They will continue as the weeks go on into July. Right now, the ones to watch are the Oklahoma City Spark, who have gone to a big start, and also the reigning champs, the Utah Talons, who have also won their first three games. So, if you want to watch super fast-paced softball action that puts modern like baseball games to shame with how quickly everything moves, check out the AUSL. This season, you can watch games on ESPN and MLB.TV on certain dates, so they're very accessible for the first time. If you have ESPN2 or ESPNU, you have these games, so you've got no excuse anymore. If you like baseball and if you like softball, like if you just came off of the women's college World Series softball games and you want more of that, AUSL is here and it's got some of the same players.
All
So,
right.
all right. Anything else in sports?
Yeah. Um, Nothing currently to report on
Hmm.
because the NCAA track and field championships are currently happening, but do not have a winner yet.
Okay. All right. Well, then in that case, we can move on to some television news. Our television news takes us to, well, we usually ask the question Doctor Who, but today you're asking Doctor When?
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah, it's pretty funny. The BBC dropped a bombshell on Wednesday. The broadcaster announced a major creative rethink of Doctor Who, the storied sci fi franchise. Gone is a Christmas special, which had been greenlit only 8 months previous. And perhaps more consequentially, showrunner Russell T Davies and producer Bad Wolf have both abandoned ship. Two insiders said it was a mutual parting of ways after all sides realized that Doctor Who required a complete retooling that could not be masked by just a little holiday episode. This creative restructuring is expected to take years, potentially keeping the show off TV until 2028 at the earliest, sources said. Davies had no completed script, and there was no actor attached to play the next Doctor. These were insurmountable issues with less than 6 months to get that Christmas special on the screen, even though that special was announced last October. So they ran out of time somehow.
Yeah,
In a
poor Time
statement,
Lord.
yeah, exactly, right? I don't know how. The BBC said in a statement that the decision to cancel the Christmas episode was, quote, not taken lightly, unquote, and acknowledged that the news would be disappointing for fans. The broadcaster added that it was now focused on securing the next phase of the show for future generations. So now the BBC will embark on their new journey, which is getting pitches for season 16, because we have no idea what they're going to do.
Right, in the season 16, since it came back in
Yes.
2020 or
Yeah, that's how they're
2005.
numbering. That's how they're currently numbering these.
Yeah.
Um, what do you think is the move here? Like, I feel like they've tried to expand like who Doctor Who is, expand the lore of the show, link all sorts of. I feel like they've tried everything, right? Like they made the Disney Plus deal. Like, what's possibly left?
I mean, I don't want to put this all on who they cast as Doctor Who, but this is not on who they cast as Doctor Who.
No,
This
it's
is
not.
on the showrunners. This is
Yeah,
on the production team behind it. This is on the executives up top saying that we want to go in a new direction, even though the current Doctor, Nawata Gutwi, has only been it for a season.
yeah. Feels like no time has passed, but
Right. And
I
so
guess
like they
this.
all
Yeah,
already want to go to a next Doctor, even though we had the one before it for 2 seasons. And it feels like the heads up top want to go back to classic like British uh British male Doctor Who that people know and love.
I mean,
But at the
what's
same
your?
time,
Yeah,
that's not necessarily what Doctor Who is all about. Same thing
yeah.
as Star Trek is not about just white man at captain.
I
It's
mean, yeah.
about
What's your?
diversity, it's about inclusion, it's about time travel, it's about having
Yeah,
all these grand adventures that's not limited to space, time, age, race, location. It's ever expanding and not pigeonholed, well,
yeah.
do it again, to a single entity.
Yeah, what you're getting at is 100% what my gut said, which is how much of this is the BBC trying to get through the culture war
Hmm.
stuff bullshit that's happening in like both American and UK society right now. It's probably they're being pressured out of quote woke Doctor Who unquote, which is of like you're saying not the case. It's what the show has always been. But like I understand that they're probably internally being like, how can we get this to be back to the classic, what so the more vocal, aka asshole fans want on the internet? And yeah, it sucks to see yet another franchise with a legacy like this being pulled down the tubes just because angry man babies on the internet are yelling that there's a woman or there's a black guy in it. Like, it sucks that we have to do this for everything now. But here we are. Of course, that could also, what also could be true is that maybe they just generally don't have any ideas. That could also be true. Both of those things can be true.
Yes.
And I'm really hoping that they figure something out that doesn't do what the worst case scenario here is, which is sacrifice those values and that legacy for the sake of making BBC execs happy. I really hope that that's not what happens.
Right, and that's what they essentially BBC has to kind of determine over the next.
Yeah,
I hope this doesn't take a year, but
it
at the
might.
same time, if they decide to retire the Doctor Who branding and maybe it does go off the air for another 20 years before it's picked up again, it wouldn't be the first time.
Wouldn't be the first time. All right. Anything else before we move on to thoughts? Because you do have
Um,
some.
I mean, just that with this news, it does mean that Disney is going to lose out on that licensing for
Yeah.
Doctor Who. So
Yeah. It goes away.
wherever it ends up next, will be the next adventure.
Yeah. We'll see. Okay. Thoughts. You have some thoughts.
Yes, I'll be real quickly and brief about my
Hmm.
thoughts because this is not something new. Outlast, the Netflix survival series. The
Yes.
first two seasons were taking place in Alaska, in the harsh, harsh, cold winter environment of Alaska. This time, season three, they're in the jungle. That's why it's called Outlast, the jungle.
Oh, that makes
Right?
sense. Yeah.
Instead of the frigid temperatures that deal with the heat. But not just the heat, the bugs and the lizards and the insects and just everything like trying to eat them instead of the weather, trying to freeze them out. Uh, the dynamics are very fun to watch in this, especially because a lot of big personalities are like front and center compared to like some people who actually are survivalists, as they typically are in these kind of survival games. They do kind of keep them separated for the most part, unlike traditional kind of like survivor games. There are no like actual games. Instead, they're drop ships, and they're like tinkerings and stuff, and like the inner workings of different dynamics across
Hmm.
camps.
Yeah.
So it's always fun to watch. If you were looking forward to season three of of Outlast, it's here in jungle version,
Okay. Cool.
which also means that there's a lot more shirtless man-chested and shirtless women running around
Hey,
than before, which was everyone was bundled up fighting the cold weather.
yeah. Feel it seems like this lines it more similar to something like Survivor, for instance.
Yeah, which is why they did Alaska because they didn't want to be
Hmm.
associated
They
directly
didn't
with
want to
it.
just look like a Survivor
So
like
Survivor ripoff, and now that they
copy.
have two
Yeah.
seasons under their belt, now they're trying to like, okay, maybe there was something here with Survivor.
Cool.
All right. Yeah, and yeah, that's Outlast. It's out on
All
Netflix.
right. That's Outlast. I don't really have any TV to talk about, so that means we can move on to cancellations and renewals.
What am I no longer watching?
You will no longer be watching A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, as Netflix has confirmed that the third season will be its last. I believe the second season just went up.
Yep,
So this is one more renewal, and that will be done. Next up, Apple TV's Widow's Bay will get renewed for a second season.
that is very much talked about, and I
Yeah,
might be checking this out.
maybe you should check that out. And then lastly, we have House of Guinness will get a second season on Netflix.
Yep, if you liked Secession and you like Guinness, this might be for you. It's getting a
There you
second
go.
season.
All right, let's move into the last section of the show, which is movies. And we always start the movie section with the weekend box office numbers. All right, fine. Fine. You were right. Like, it's fine. Like, it's okay. I got told bad information, I guess, or like
No,
old
no, no,
information,
no, no,
perhaps.
no. I'll take the win, but I'll tell you where you went wrong. And I tried to tell you this. You went with the Amazing Digital Circus.
Yes.
You were not technically wrong because per theater average, it was
Yeah.
higher than Scary Movie.
Okay.
But it's also per
But
showing average because
yes,
the
there are
Amazing
fewer
Digital Circus
showings.
was a Fathom event, so it only had like three or four showings a day, where
Yes.
Scary Movie had like 10 or 12.
That is fair because, yes, indeed, Scary Movie was your number one movie this week. $54 million dollars in its first weekend. So, yes, you get the point there. And
Yep.
I have a losing record for the first time of this year, unfortunately. But hopefully that'll fix itself quickly. Number two, Masters of the Universe premiered to a measly 29 million. I don't think that hit in the way they wanted to at all. Number three, Backrooms sticking in there with an impressive $26 million follow-up weekend. So that's already at 135. That's a hit, folks. Number three, your thing is over it. Oh, sorry, that was number three. Number four,
Yep.
Obsession made $25 million this week. There's no way that that number is correct that you have next to Obsession.
What? Yeah, it is.
1
151 million? Oh,
billion.
point five. There you go.
Thank you. 150. Wait, that can't
Yeah.
be right either because that's a higher number than number three's domestic total. What is that actual number? 51 million?
What do you mean? Obsession had 25 million.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense now.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a total of 151 million.
Okay. That makes sense. It made 25 million this week. It has a domestic total of 151. Okay.
Yeah.
Now that makes sense. And then, yes, number five is the amazing digital circus, The Last Act, which made $12 million, which is still pretty good for a Fathom event. And
Yeah.
way, way down at number 12 is Power Ballad, which only debuted to $1.2 million.
Well, it's his second week, but it got the wider release and still did not manage to crack the top 10.
Still, sorry. I assumed it was a debut because you didn't have a domestic total next to it. That was my
Well,
bad.
I saw that it was up here in the upcoming for last week. So,
Yeah, so let's take that out. Let's talk about the release singular for this week. And it does the work for us because this will be your number one movie. It is the return of Steven Spielberg with Disclosure Day. It releases today in theaters. That is the movie to see. Everything got out of the way.
I mean, it's Steven Spielberg, it's Aliens, it's Josh O'Connor. You gotta get out of the way.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, since it's my turn, I'm going to say that that's your number one movie.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say it will definitely do better than Scary Movie did this week. I'm pretty confident putting this at 70. Feels good
Okay.
gut-wise. And I'm going to take the over on that.
All right. Would I take the over on 70 for Steven Spielberg?
I think I would. I think I
Possibly.
would. I think that
About
Waters
75.
75. Okay.
Would
Yeah,
you
I
say
feel like
select
the
the over at 75?
Waters, the vibe right now is good. It's getting pretty good reviews. Not
Right.
like, oh my God, this is a modern classic, but it seems like a good time at the movies. There's a lot of like marketing behind this. I think that people know that this is coming out. It feels like a big summer release. And until Toy Story comes out the following week, this seems to be the big thing. So yeah, I'm pretty confident about this one.
Okay. I'm confident that it's negative because the people who would see Disclosure aren't going to see it Friday night because USA is playing. They're not going to see it Saturday night
Eh,
because of
I don't know.
the NBA finals. They're not going to see it Sunday night because of the hockey finals.
People do see movies during the day. I know that's hard for you to believe.
What?
I mean,
Okay.
it is fair that there is a big sports events happening, but you have to keep in mind that as big as the NBA Finals and the World Cup are, they're not the Super Bowl. I don't think that this is the volume is the
Right. But this is
same.
pretty much the Super Bowl weekend of other sports, of soccer,
Maybe.
hockey, and basketball.
I just don't think that that knocks. I think that maybe knocks it from 100 to 70, but I don't think that knocks it from 70 to 60.
Well, no, that's why 75 is probably like
Yeah.
a good telling where we're
No,
at.
I'm not crazy. I don't think this is going to be an amazingly high number, but 75 feels right.
All right.
All right, let's move on to some movie news, which takes us to one of our favorite universes, the Phil Lord and Chris Miller universe, because one of their franchises might just be coming back with 24 Jump Street. Yes, 24 Jump Street in the works, starring, of course, Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum and Ice Cube returning to the third installment in their R-rated crime comedy franchise. Rodney Rothman, who directed Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, who directed that? Is
Yep.
that right? Okay.
Yep. One of the
Uh,
directors.
okay, co-directed, will direct the film and wrote the script with Hill and Megan Malloy. Phil Lord and Chris Miller will join as executive producers on the project. Of course, a third installment of the successful Jump Street film franchise has been in development at Sony for more than a decade. Tatum once described the script for the since scrapped 23 Jump Street as, quote, the best script that I've ever read for a third movie. That film was designed as a crossover with Sony's blockbuster Men in Black franchise and didn't actually happen. So it's really funny that 24 Jump Street keeps the chronological, like, as if it was a real film, which is a funny thing that they would definitely commit to. The social media post included a picture of the script 24 Jump Street, colon, it took so long. We had to make, we had to skip one. Pretty funny, guys.
Yeah, it's a good joke. The Jump Street has always been very meta, tongue-in-cheek,
Mm-hmm.
in your face. The fact that at the end of 22 Jump Street, which came out in 2014, by the way,
Yeah, a long time ago.
had all those like different posters of like what
Yeah,
the future Jump Streets would be, including 23 or 24, 25,
right.
Jump Street, Infinite Jump Street Generations, all that fun
It's
stuff.
funny. Yeah.
It's a great ending gag to it. So the fact that they're planning to skip 23 and go to 24
Yeah,
is very hilarious.
that's
It
pretty funny.
I've seen rumors, or at least I don't know if it's rumors, but fan speculation that the reason they go with 24 to shoot is because they're going to shoot it in the style of 24
Oh,
with Jack Bauer,
that's pretty funny. That would be cool to do.
of how they get around like doing like a regular Jump Street because they're too old to be
Yeah,
students, both in
right.
high school and in college. The other way you do is to have them be the teachers,
Yeah, yeah,
or you can make it like, I don't know,
yeah.
goofy, funny. Like we just
That's fun.
had the Naked Gun come back.
Right. Yeah. So this makes sense. I think it's been long enough. Sure. I'm ready. I'm ready for a new one.
Yep. But still early, still
Yeah,
really early, but at least it's on the radar for Sony to be made, maybe within the next 2 years.
indeed. All right. That'll do it for movie news. Thoughts? Did you watch any movies this week?
Yes, I did, but I
You
don't
gotta
know
think
if it's
about it.
relevant
Okay.
because I watched Kung Fu Panda 4.
Not relevant. No, that's
Okay.
not a 2026 release.
No, it's
I
actually a
will say,
2024 release. That's why I was like, is this
yeah,
relevant?
you know, I will say real briefly, and real briefly, I mean it this time. I saw Hoppers after your recommendation
Oh,
last week.
yes.
The only thing I'd say, you were 100% right. So just listen to everything Mike had to say last week because that's my opinion too. A creative movie with lots of twists and turns, very funny, a good time. I wouldn't necessarily go and say it's a Pixar classic, but I will say that it's definitely a rebound from Elio, which was everything this movie is not. And I think that that is good news for Hoppers. So, yeah, I had a great time with it.
I'm glad you had a good time with it. You hopped right into it.
Hopped right in. All right. All right, that'll do it. So, thank you for listening to the Media Boat Podcast this week. We'll be back next week for another episode full of all sorts of goodies. I'm sure we'll have so much to talk about. We'll have two, not one, but two different results for your big finals between the Stanley Cup and the NBA. So, stay tuned, even though in real life you'll already know. So, you won't really need us to
Yep.
tell you.
It'll also be our pre-Father's Day
It
episode.
will. Yes. So, yeah, look forward to all that and more next week.
Yep.
In the meantime, you can catch us on YouTube in video form. Just search YouTube for Media Boat Podcast, find our channel, like, subscribe, click the bell for notifications when new videos go live. You can also find us in audio form on podcast services just by searching Media Boat Podcast in those apps that you use for podcasts. You can also find us on Blue Sky, search Media Boat Podcast there. You can find us on twitch.tv/MediaBoat, where you can find Mike occasionally playing video games. And lastly, but definitely not leastly, you can email us for comments, questions you have for us, feedback about the show, anything you want us to know at mediaboatpodcast@gmail.com. We do read those. We will read them if you send them to us and you're not trying to talk about AI on our show. All right, that'll do it. We'll see you guys next time.
Yep. We'll be back
Bye-bye.
on Juneteenth with more news, more thoughts,
Yes.
and more of us.
All right, see you.
All right. Bye.
Okay, bye.